Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Mark Wood, and I'm with the Richard Fairbanks School of Public Health at Indiana University in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm delighted to be with you here today to talk about our Master of Science program in Product Stewardship. It's a one-of-a-kind program, and I think you'll find it very interesting from a career development perspective. Let me share my screen with you so I can get right to it. This information is information we typically share during our information sessions that we have live from the school several times a year. I'll give you my email address later in the presentation, and if you so desire to participate in a live discussion, you can participate in one of our information sessions, or alternatively, we can have a private session. As I said, my name is Mark. I've been with the school a few years now. I previously had spent nearly 30 years with Eli Lilly and Company in a variety of health, safety, environmental, and operational roles, and have had responsibility for the management of certain product stewardship functions in my career. And product stewardship is a ever-changing, interesting, important function, especially as we expand our purview into sustainability and responsible investing. Product stewardship is becoming more and more important, and frankly, that's why I'm interested in, and I have become involved. All right, so what is product stewardship? This is an academic degree, so information about an academic degree. So let's go academic just for a second. So this is taken from a definition from the Product Stewardship Society, and it's product stewardship is the responsible management of the health, safety, environmental aspects of raw materials, intermediate, and consumer products throughout their life cycle and across the value chain in order to prevent or minimize impacts and maximize value. So simply stated, product stewardship is that function which helps an organization with all aspects of R&D, manufacturing, marketing, and in some cases, actually take back of materials to help manage the product through what we call the circular economy. Many years ago, it was called cradle to grave. I think a more progressive way of looking at this would be looking at it as helping a product make its way in and around and through the circular economy. It's an emerging field, as I mentioned right off. It's a field that's been developing for decades, actually, but it's really only been in the last 10 years or so that we've seen it coalesce into a discipline and career in and of itself, and hence why we started this program. Many different organizations have product stewards and product stewardship programs, from multinational corporations to government agencies. Often, these roles are filled by traditional EHS professionals, but that's not always true. That's not always true. We find our students and our product stewards to be a very heterogeneous group of professionals, coming some from the HSE or EHS function, but we also see coming from areas of toxicology, engineering, supply chain. Right? So across the spectrum, really, our students and our product stewards come to us from really across the spectrum with a multitude of backgrounds. But up until now, there really has been no academic home for these individuals. But I said up until now. So IU was the first academic institution in the United States to offer a graduate degree in this emerging field. So as I said, this field has been emerging for decades, since really the inception of the Environmental Protection Agency, environmental agencies within Europe. Fast forward in the last 10 years, where there has been literally an explosion of regulations in Europe, especially related to the REACH legislation, which was passed in 2000 and late 2007 and into 2008. So this is really, again, it's coalesced finally into a discipline and career function and path in and of itself. So that's really what we're all about here. Let me tell you a little bit about our program. It's entirely online. That's deliberate. We want to reach a broad audience, and we don't want geography to be a barrier. It's 30 credits or 10 courses at the graduate level. Most importantly, it's taught by industry leaders. This program has brought together some of the most important thought leaders in product stewardship, and they have been involved in product stewardship for decades. Some of them actually involved back in the 1970s, when product stewardship really was given birth from the environmental movement, and some would suggest a more formalization of social investing, even back as far as the 60s and 70s. There are literally 20 to 25 faculty that we retain. A subset of those actively teach, others act in advisory capacity. But the point is, we have literally hundreds of years of experience in the product stewardship function as a result of these industry leaders being involved. And we are a fully accredited program by the Council on Education for Public Health. We sit in a school of public health. That's deliberate. We share the public health paradigm, which is a preventive paradigm. So if you join our program, what kind of courses can you expect to take? First off, as I mentioned, we sit in a school of public health. So you'll take a basic introduction to public health, so that all of our students, all of our master's students in the School of Public Health take this course in order to get grounded in the determinants of health and the key systems that are necessary to prevent and to bolster health in our society. We are a scientifically based program. We are a scientifically based program. What does that mean? What it means is when you get through our program, you will have a very solid foundation in environmental health sciences. It's been our experience that product stewards, although not all of them are scientists, not all product stewards, as I mentioned before, are scientists and engineers. However, for the most part, what our experience has been is that many facets of product stewardship are grounded in science and technology. Therefore, you'll take courses in toxicology, human health risk assessment. You'll take a course that I've taught before called Management and Leadership. Why that course? That course because we're absolutely convinced in order for product stewards to maximize their value within organizations, they must be influential. And leadership is about many things, but mostly it's about influence. Mostly it's about influence. You'll also take our 5 core courses in product stewardship. The fundamentals of product stewardship. In this course, you will cover all aspects of product stewardship, but at a high level. And then the remaining 4 courses, think of it as sort of a triple click into those aspects of product stewardship, such as product hazard exposure and risk assessment. How do you, within an organization, prioritize? Those of you who've done product stewardship know, quite frankly, it can be a jungle. If you're in a larger organization with hundreds of products, maybe thousands of products, hundreds that are in development, it can be daunting. How do you chop that all down to size? Product improvement and sustainability. As I mentioned before, this is helping products move through the entire circular economy. But how do we build in sustainability? Okay? How do we build in sustainability right from the beginning? And then for those products that are already established, how do we enter into a sort of a virtuous, continuous improvement cycle with those products? And then if you're involved in product stewardship now, you know that it's a field that's very heavily regulated. And you'll be taking a very interesting course in regulatory affairs for product stewardship. Frankly, it's a course that I wish I had had many, many years ago. It would have made my life a lot easier. But be that as it may, it's a great course, and you'll study regulations not just from the United States, but globally. right? So most of our multinational corporations are global in nature and scope. So it really wouldn't do any good just to focus on one particular region's regulations, because all the regions have product stewardship regulations and requirements, and many of those are interrelated. And then finally, product stewardship and management. I've said before to product stewards, it's a jungle out there. The only sane way to live in a product stewardship context is through management systems. So how does one think about, at the very highest level, how does one think about aligning your strategy with the business? Right? Aligning it with the business, not at cross purposes, but aligning so that you're maximizing value. And frankly, product stewards and product stewardship functions are seen in a very helpful light. Finally, putting management systems into place so that the literally thousands of different requirements can be met expeditiously within an organization. If you're not quite ready for the full master's degree, for a variety of reasons, it's a major commitment. There's a certificate program available to you. Again, it's entirely online. It consists of taking the 5 product stewardship courses that I just mentioned. And the coursework can be applied toward a master's degree within 2 years of completing the certificate. So this, we've had people go through this program and this process and matriculate into a master's program or stay with the certificate. It gives you an opportunity to kind of maybe start in a more modest way rather than commit to the full master's degree at the beginning. I'm not going to belabor these slides because I think I've already given a good description of each of the courses. But if you want a little more information, then you can scroll through these slides. We remain very bullish, if you will, on product stewardship as a career, especially as sustainability and responsible investing, or ESG investing, becomes more and more important. We think this career will grow. This field will grow, and so we remain very, very confident that this degree will assist you in growing that career. Let me talk a little bit about our faculty. I mentioned we have a world-class faculty made up of industry leaders. And this is, we really don't have time today to go through all of them, but just a few highlights here. Gail Hart spent 40 years with ExxonMobil, responsible for their product stewardship services. Gail actually helped develop this master's degree program a number of years ago. And he is one of the faculty that have been involved in product stewardship literally since its beginning 40 years ago. Steve Benoit from DuPont has been involved in product stewardship again for decades, and has been responsible for managing thousands of products. You can imagine the complexities he had to deal with, not only the technical complexity, but the regulatory and customer service framework as well. Al Iannuzzi, Dr. Iannuzzi, has been involved again for decades with this, formerly leader in sustainability at Johnson & Johnson, now the Vice President of Sustainability at the Estee Lauder Companies, and a textbook author. Marianne Saunders has been involved with compliance in this area for, again, many, many years, and she teaches the compliance-related course with another faculty member I'll mention in a second. Terry McLani teaches our fundamentals of product stewardship and has been involved in a variety of different industries, including a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson for many, many years. John Hellerstein has taught our management and strategy course, has been involved with seminal involvement with the Product Stewardship Society, and recently received one of their highest awards for lifetime achievement. Kate Sellers a technical director with ERM, along with Marianne Saunders, teaches our regulatory affairs class, and she is a major textbook author. I believe she has authored actually 3 textbooks, and I've already introduced myself. And then Ed Chikwana, Dr. Chikwana, teaches our human health risk assessment course. As I mentioned, there are upwards of 25 faculty that help us in an advisory capacity as well. So these are some of the folks that are teaching our courses currently. Questions? Obviously, this is not a live course. This is obviously recorded. If you have questions, please feel free to email me at woodmw@iu.edu, and I will get back to you expeditiously. The application process. I'm going to say this. I'm not going to go through it in detail here. If you're interested, let's talk. It's a very simple application process. I would say there is no graduate record examination, no GRE required. Generally speaking, we like to see a 3.0 average GPA coming out of undergraduate school. However, don't let that stop you. If you're a little bit under, we'll work with you. Just depends on the situation. Okay. The bottom line here from an application perspective is that it's a very straightforward process. And if you're interested in participating in our program, we'd like you to reach out to us. Okay? And again, it's a very simple process. Okay, let's end it there. I hope you found this informative, and I hope to hear from you soon.